Good evening, everyone. We are now live in Digital Creatives Worldwide YouTube channel for ArchiCAD for interior designers. So, inviting you to please join our community in Facebook, ArchiCAD Users Community, and in LinkedIn. Inviting you to invite and like our live stream. Hi everyone. Good evening. Yeah, inviting you to please like and share our live stream with the hashtag ArchiCAD for interior designers. Okay, I'll be adding my co-host for tonight, Sir Jomark. Hi, Sir Jomark.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. And yeah, I'm also excited, like you all, because this is one of our requested events, specifically for the ArchiCAD enthusiasts. So very happy, finally doing this. And yep, very excited. That's all I can say for now. Actually, this is also the first time for me to be seeing ArchiCAD as well. So once more, shout out to our friends in BIM Philippines, Binildian Industrial Designers, Bataan Peninsula State University, CPSU, IRIS, TUP Taguig, JPSME Batangas chapter. So, yep, for those who may be asking industrial design, yep, your works are all related in interior design, right? Your the probably the furniture will be in a room, okay? Interior design, and same for the guys, the mechanical engineers, your ducting, okay? It affects the interior, right? So we want you to be whole rounded, understanding the whole concept of not working in silos, understanding the concept in depth of each stakeholders with regards to building information modeling. Okay. Yep. Good evening, everyone. Once more. In addition to CMU, uh, Don Mariano Marcos, DMMSU, USJR, Xavier University. Good evening, everyone. Hoping you will be, definitely, I'm sure you will be enjoying this live stream. Yep. Miss Elsie?
Hi everyone. Let's add our instructor for tonight, Miss Beata.
Hello,
Good
everyone.
evening.
Okay, so yep, good evening, Beata. So thank you so much for doing this. This is one of our actually advocacy here in the Philippines. Uh, Promoting BIM. Actually, a lot of schools here haven't adopted BIM yet. So imagine that. So we're hoping you can share more, inspire more students. There's a lot of students joining us this evening. And for those who are not familiar, Beata is in Poland.
Yes. In Europe, generally. Because I'm
Probably
traveling a lot.
morning. Is it morning there?
It's 1 p.m., so afternoon.
Oh, 1 p.m. Another question is it also German language in Poland or it's a different language?
No, it's different language. It's Polish.
Ah. Okay,
I'm speaking German, so sorry.
Polish. How do you say Polish in how do you say good evening in Polish?
Dobry wieczór.
Again?
Dobry wieczór.
Oh man, that's hard. How about you, Nelsie? Can you pronounce that to us? Dobby. Uh Good evening in Tagalog, Biata is magandang gabi.
Okay. Magandang gabi.
Yeah, you got it. But in
Super.
Polish, I think it would be very hard
It's
for
not
us.
easy language. It's not easy language, but we speak in English, so I think most of you will understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Another question: have you ever been to Philippines?
Not yet.
Okay, so yep, looking forward to see you here when the pandemic ends. Actually, the pandemic here, the COVID situation is catastrophic and rising up here in the Philippines. So very sad for that. How about in Poland? What's the situation
It's
there?
going better. It's going better, but weeks ago was also very bad. So we see.
Yep. Okay. So yep. Without further ado, if you'll be sharing your
Yes, I
monitor
will
or
share my screen, but then I can't see your questions. So if there will be some questions, I hope I will be back later.
yep.
Just let me know that you can hear, you can see my screen.
Okay, so once more, for those who have questions, we will be entertaining them afterwards. We have a Q&A portion. This is recorded for, yeah, for the benefit of those who will be watching the replay. Okay, so yep, we're now seeing your screen, Beata.
Okay, so this is ArchiCAD. I don't know how much of you are using ArchiCAD, but I will start from really beginning. So, and we have around 2 hours to talk about ArchiCAD. ArchiCAD is really huge software, so you can design here almost everything. And I will show you such way that I hope everyone could start working in ArchiCAD and start designing something. And the subject of our meeting is interior designing, because I'm mostly designing interiors, so I will show you such way how interior designers working in ArchiCAD.
Awesome.
So the first, when you install your software, open your software, it looks something like that. On the left side, you have toolbox, so all your tools which you can use, which to design and everything in ArchiCAD. So this is the first, the most important part of ArchiCAD. The second, the most important is this, what you can see on the on the top of your screen. And those icons on this palette changing depends what kind of the tool you just choose on the toolbox. Then those icons are changing because here you are setting all parameters. For example, how tall should be the wall, how big the window, how big the door, etc. And the next one, quite important part, is this small icon on the right side. When you just click on this icon, you can see something what's called navigator. So here you have all those plans, and here you are preparing the project for printing, for exporting to another one software. Because I'm mostly designing interiors. And interior designers are not designing the house. They are working with ready-made house. So mostly interior designers will have some plans which you will import to ArchiCAD and you will use to model everything and to make some project and to place all objects inside interiors. So the first part of your work in ArchiCAD should be to import those plans. And we are importing those plans. You can import those plans from any, it can be just some picture, it can be PDF or AutoCAD plans or Revit, whatever you have. Mostly interior designers have access to some pictures or to some PDF plans, and how we choose PDF. The first, what is quite important to not import, you can very easily import everything to ArchiCAD, just drag and drop. But because we are importing the plans to ArchiCAD, the way how you should to import those plans, just don't try drag and drop to here when you will making your model. We have some special kind of plans which call worksheets. and we import such plans to worksheets. So just click on the house, click with right button on your mouse and you on the worksheet, and you have option new independent worksheets. You're just creating something like extra plan, extra piece of paper where we just place those plans. ArchiCAD is asking us to call this plan. I will just leave it as it is. Just click create, and now, just wait a second, my computer is thinking. And now here we just drag and drop this plan, which I just have on my computer. And I have something like that. Just drag and drop somewhere to this window. This is our, let's say that this is our house where we just create this all interiors. But it's just the picture. It's PDF, but ArchiCAD just read it as a picture. And PDF plans in ArchiCAD are quite nice for working because I can take everything from is on this PDF plan and make it more useful. Let's say like that. Everything what I should do now is only working with PDF. So just select this PDF. We have the first tool on our toolbox is just arrow. So click with arrow on this PDF, then click with right button on your mouse, and we have explode into current view. So in this way, I will just take everything what is on this PDF and take it from this PDF. It will be lines, files, it will be not objects anymore. And we have some options. I will just unclick keep original elements after exploding because I don't want to have this picture anymore. I just want to have those lines and files here. Just click OK. Depends how big is your plan. And now we have, those are lines now. It's not picture anymore. Now with PDF, the second part of your job is just rescale this PDF. Because I'm working with meters and centimeters. So here all the dimensions are in the meters. So I know how long is this wall. We need to find something on this PDF plan, which dimension, you know, how big is the window, is the door, or the wall, something what you know really that in this house it's really 1 meter or 2 meters. Sometimes on this PDF plan we have some dimensions, so we not need to go there and make some calculation. Select everything, then just rescale. Rescale is just click command, or because I'm working on the Mac. So on the Mac will be command, on Windows it will be control and K, like Catherine. It's just shortcut to rescale, resize this what you just selected. Click OK, and then just we need to find something which dimension we know. For example, here from this point to this point we have 2 meters and 44 centimeters. So we just click on the beginning of this wall, click at the end of this wall, and here I need to place in millimeters because it's English version. So it will be 440 millimeters. Just place on the keyboard and click enter. And now we can start to work with this plan. But I will not design anything on this worksheet. On the worksheet, we just place this plan, this PDF, and now I'm back to ground floor because in ArchiCAD we are just modeling, creating everything how normal house. So ground floor is on the ground floor, and the second floor will be on the second floor on separate plan. And now here, we need to show this what is one on the worksheets. How to make it. In ArchiCAD, we have something what's called trays. It's those two squares here. Just click on those icon. Then we have some arrow next to this icon. And we need to choose reference. So I need to say to ArchiCAD that I would like to see as a trace this what is on the worksheets. So we need to go to Browse for trace reference. And I need to click this worksheets because I have on this worksheets this, what we just resize. And we can see this here. It's not here, it's just something like semi-transparent that I can really work, and I know where is this wall, where is the door, where is the window, and I will be able to draw those walls, those windows, put those walls, those windows here. Because it was the PDF, and what is nice with PDF that when I will go to some wall, to some window, ArchiCAD will feel that there is some special point that here is the beginning of the wall because we have something like tick there. And I will not need to think how long is this wall. I will just draw on this what I can see on this screen now. The first, what we just draw is the walls. But I don't know yet how the wall is, how big is this wall, so we make some calculation. I need to check how distance is between this point and this point. How to check it? In ArchiCAD, we have some special kind of icon, or just click M like Margaret, and you can check the distance between those 2 points. I need to click on here where this wall starts and go without the clicking to the end. And we can see that it's 102 millimeters, so something like 10 centimeters. So let's go and draw such walls. Click twice on the wall tool, and here is a lot of different options. We can really draw any kind of the walls, any kind of building materials, but because we have 2 hours, even less, so I will make it a little bit shorter, because my main way of thinking here to show you how to draw, and if you can draw anything to create something in ArchiCAD, then to check those extra options, I think will be more easy for you. We just draw simple wall. We have 3 different kinds of the wall. So just the first one is basic. So it's just one single material here. And this is what is important, this is what we just calculate here. It was exactly 102 millimeters. So I need to set this distance here. And okay, we can start to drawing. We just draw it like, and we have different kind of the walls. We can different ways how to draw the walls. Here we have geometry method. That's why this palette here is quite important, because those geometry methods are only available here. So only here we can find and decide what kind of the walls we are drawing now. And because this part is like, okay, maybe from the beginning. The first is if I would like to draw single walls. One wall which is 5 meters long. That's it, no more. Then I can, in separate place, draw another one wall. If we click with left button on our mouse, I can see extra icons here. The next one is I will just draw one wall, and the end of the one wall is beginning of the another one, and I can draw like that. All walls here, but we have even more easy way, which we use here is the next one. Because here I can draw those 4 walls just from the start. I need to click here in one corner and just go to another one corner. We are just drawing 4 walls, like a square around. And we have the first 4 walls. The same we can make here. Just click in the corner. I know where the corner is because ArchiCAD is showing me some special icon I can use. And I will just click here. So we just draw those 4 walls. We can see everything what we are drawing on the plan, we can see in 3 dimension. We have here 3D tab. When I click on this 3D tab, you can see here our 4 walls already. We have anything inside here and a slab. We draw this in a second. This is what is, I think, quite important, that you are not leaving space for doors, for windows. You are just drawing walls everywhere, even there where windows and doors are, because when we place the door and the window, ArchiCAD will cut the hole in this place where the door and window will be. But before we place any door and any window, we have some walls inside. Just here, I will not use this geometry method. I will just use the first one, so I can draw single walls inside. So again, if I will go to this corner, you can see that if I'm in the just empty place, it's just plus. If I'm here in the corner, we have something like different kind of the icon. So I know that here I will draw the walls. And here is the first problem. It's a problem, but not a problem. Because I can see that when I'm drawing the wall is in different place than it should be. Then I can see on this plan. But this icon here allow me to turn around, to flip this wall. So now I have there where it should be. One wall here. I didn't make it proper, so let's back. Control Z. Z is like every software. So one step before here, here. When you click Shift, you're locking the angle. So it's not going like that, but with Shift, you can just lock the direction of this wall. And another one. We are not leaving empty space for doors, so I should draw to the end. And we have something like here wall. And 3 more. So this one to the end, because we have some doors here. You don't need to be very careful to finish this wall like that, because when you finish somewhere in the middle of another one wall, everything will be nice looking. And that's it. We have all walls inside and outside our house. Just because I was very fast, so I didn't clean everything. You can make some wall longer or shorter, because when you close up, you can see that it's some gap between those two doors, two walls, so you can clean them. Next step will be our slab. So I have slab. Our floor is under those walls. Here we have something like terrace, and here inside also. So we have slab tool, and with slab we are creating floors. Roofs is another one tool, but slabs and floors on this level we create. And this what is important, that you are always creating on the floors here. So don't create floor and I miss my word. And the slab on the roof on this combination. You are not creating both, because floor on one level is the roof for the floor which is below to you. So we are just creating floor here. And geometry methods is the first one. So we are just drawing around our walls as it is. So let's go here to the corner, here, because we make this terrace as well, here, here, and we need to back with this slab to this corner where we just start. And now when we go to 3 dimension, you can see that we have a floor, we have all walls inside and outside our house. Now let's focus on the windows and doors which we have inside. So we need to back here. And here's the first problem, because when I draw the walls, I can see really where the windows are, because here is some window, but I can see because my wall hides this what is below. We have some options here which allow us to make, for example, you have few options. I'm just thinking which will be quicker. For example, this one, transparent files and zones, which make that now I can see the files of the walls and I can see everything what is below. So I know exactly where the window, where the doors are, and I know where to put them. I didn't draw something. I can see that here we have some doors and the wall should be longer. We can make the wall longer. Just click here on this black dot and you can just make longer, shorter the wall. No, it's fine. Okay, so let's go to, let's say, doors. M like Margaret, so I can check how big the door are here. It's something like 80 centimeters, 798, almost 80 centimeters. So we have a door. When I click twice on the door, you can see that you have a lot of options. Different kind of the type of the door, different model. You need to choose such kind which you are looking for. Let's say, we just make some Where are some doors? So just simple doors. And here you have even option to choose some style of the doors. You can even create some your own style, handle, everything. When you just start to clicking here, you have options to put everything what is a part of your door and the opening of your door, the frame, everything. This what is important for us now is just set proper dimension. It was 80 centimeters, so 800 millimeters, how tall the door is, and if you have some steel, then how big it will be. Okay, we have 3 points how I can put this door to my wall. Because I know where the corner of the door is, I will just choose this one. The first one is if I will know exactly where the centrum of the door is. So I will make the corner point. So you can see that when I will go with this corner, if I will go here, you can see that my doors are sliding under the wall. And just click here. And now I need to decide how the door, in which direction we open the door. Just move your mouse left, right, up, down, and just place there how it should be. The same door here. This time I will choose this corner. And exactly the same. I have some frame here. I should delete this frame, but now we just, the proper way to work in ArchiCAD, and I think in any kind of the software, is just make from general to the details. So in the beginning, just start to modeling and then go inside every tool and to change something. You can every time select anything. For example, I will just select the door now. Just go to arrow, select the door, and you can go here on this icon and change anything what you wish, even the dimension of the door, and it will be changed later. So if you change your mind, especially when you are designing interiors, your customer changing the mind that he would like to have different kind of the sofa, you can every time select, change anything what is inside. We have
Nice.
one door. Second, we have something like that. We have also here such kind probably door. So again the same. This door looks like it's a little bit bigger. Let's check quick. It's 900. So we make some 900. You don't need to even go here to change. Everything what is here in this window, you can also change here. It's exactly the same, almost the same, almost everything the same as was in this window. Just we change the size to 900, and now I can place bigger door here. And we have smaller door, which are going to some bathrooms. Those doors are always smaller. So we have 800 here. And there were some. We have also here some doors. We can place any doors and any windows just in empty place. I can click, nothing will happen. That's why we not leave any space for doors and windows in the walls. When we check now, you can see that we have some doors in our window, in our walls. We have also some sliding doors there. Because here we have some sliding doors and windows. And here is the same. So let's make some separate doors here. And you can see that we have some, we can choose sliding doors as well. You need to change some type. Let's say something like that. Okay. Those doors are bigger, so you can also, for example, you can see that this door is finished somewhere here, probably, but I can place smaller door and then go to arrow, click on this door in the corner. To select some doors or windows, you need to click in the corner and then click in the black dot and you can make it bigger or smaller. So it's manually changing the size. And we have the windows as well. So let's make some windows. And I will make it maybe like that. So we have the same points I replace with the corner because I know where the corner are. Click in the black dot and you can make it bigger. So you don't even, as I mentioned before, just from the general model to the details, especially when you are designing interiors at the beginning, everything what you are focusing is to create some models. How this house really looks like, where the windows are, because you can't really change the windows, especially as long as you are not working with the single family house. And in the multi-family house, you can change where the windows are. So it's something what need to be, and you can't move them. When you have general model of your house, then you start to thinking about the surfaces, about what kind of the elements you would like to, furniture you would like to choose, what kind of materials you would like to choose. So it's just a very quick way. I don't know what time is it, but I think in half hour you can just create general model of any house, as long as it's not really big house. Here we have some doors, sliding doors. We have some windows here. We have some windows here as well. And so sliding doors, the last two elements which we should place on this level. So like that. The last element which we should place here is our roof. You should have something above. You can also design in 3D dimension. So you can place everything in 3D. I'm just old architect, so I'm creating models, not really working from the beginning in 3D dimension. I'm not modeling, I'm more focusing on the plans and documentation. That's why 3D dimension for me is more for renderings, how to show how it should look like when you have surfaces, when you have lights. So we place the roof here, and for us it will be again the slab. We can also choose some, we have separate roofs. If it should be not very flat roof, then we should use the roof tool. But I will create here some slab on the top of our houses. So we can draw, for example, in 3D, because here we have something separate house, and here shouldn't be really some roof. So I will choose this second geometry method and just click in the corner of our house and go to separate corner. We have the first slab here and the same here. It's the same way how we draw on the ground floor on the plan, from the corner to the corner, the same in 3D, just from the corner of one wall to the corner of second wall. And now we have general model of our house. Today we focus on general model to create our model of our house. Probably here would be nice looking if those, because we have on the plans. So let's say that it should look like that. Interior designer working later with renderings of every space. So second rendering I would like to create for this room, for this bedroom, for bathroom, for kitchen, for something like that. And the extra tool, which is very nice when you are designing interiors and when you would like to, in fast way, jump between different spaces. Because I can, of course, go to 3D here, click on this tab, and just manually scroll on my mouse to go inside this house. Then when we click O, like open, you can turn around. But it's really hard work when you have a lot of space to jump between those all from one room to another one. So we have something like tool which called camera. It's on the bottom of our toolbox. And we can place cameras in different spaces. For example, when we are designing interiors, you would like to place minimum one camera in every space which you are working on. So for example, here we have some living room, and I will place camera here. So the first click is just place camera, and then the second click is where the camera should look for. So here we are standing and we are watching in this direction. The second important information which should we place is in which level this camera is. And we have elevation that we are now 4 meters above zero. So maybe it's a little bit too much. Let's say 1 meter 1,500 millimeters, so 1 meter 50. And let's say I will look a little bit down, and now our camera is it's on such level. And the same I can, for example, place in the kitchen. That I will show you the difference between one space and another one. The first click, we are standing here, and let's say we are watching to this direction. We can, on the beginning, before we place the camera, we can also change this dimension. It will be faster, but I can also select this camera and change it now. And how to jump between view from one camera to another one. On our navigator, we have cameras here. It's this one, unlimited path. And we have camera first, camera second. If I click twice on the first camera, we can see the view from this camera. And of course, when we place some camera on the plan, sometimes we don't know exactly how it really looks like. Then I can change a little bit the view from this camera. Let's say it really looks better if it will be like that. And if I made some changes, we need to go to this navigator, click on this camera with right button on your mouse, and you have something what's called modify this camera to current view. And now ArchiCAD, we just set this view, which I have now, to this camera. And so this is the view in our living room. And now we click twice on the camera too, and I can see my kitchen. And later, it will be very fast. I can, of course, place as many cameras as I wish. It will be fast to jump between one space to another. I don't need to go like that manually. And again, it's working very fast to jump between cameras. Okay, so we have general model of our, I don't know, there was some question because I can see if anybody said something.
Not for now.
Okay, everybody watching. Because you mentioned that here students can download 1 year long free version of ArchiCAD for testing, so for learning and using during study. So I think it's always nice to download and test and start to drawing for themselves, something to use ArchiCAD for free. If you are a student, it's for you. Okay.
Nice.
We have general view, but of course we are interior designers, so let's make something with interiors. I'm just thinking what to better start. Okay. I will just delete this what is here, and I will just tell you how to make it manually, because it depends of the version of ArchiCAD. Sometimes when you open, you can see something like elevation, north, south, east, west, 2 sections inside the house. But I will show you how to create. Of course, we create some model, but nice to make some documentation so you can really make some plans which somebody can use it. It's not just general model of our house. We have, of course, different tools. We have some columns. We have a column in this project, so the columns looks like, again, we are making it will be some circle or square, and you need to set some dimension of those columns, and you are just placing this column. The same is with the beam. We have some stair tool, and you can create any kind of the stair which you would like. Especially that this tool changed in ArchiCAD 20, so it's really, you can, the limit is only your imagination. You can set such stairs which you would only wish. We have railing tool. Next to the railing tool, we can use separate. So I can, for example, place some railing here on this part of our, let's say, terrace. Just draw from the beginning to the end. But also, you can set some railings next to the stairs, and then you can see that it's just flat. Next to some balcony, of course, you can change the view, how it should do the model of this railing. But when you have some stairs, I will just place some single stairs here. So you can see we have some stair, and then when you place the railing next to the stair, they're going just up next to the stair. They're not going flat as this one. All depends, you are drawing something next to the stair or next to the, or just in empty space. It will going up or just flat. We have some roof, we have some shells. I will just show you something what's called mesh, because we have nice terrace here and it will be nice to have some landscape around our. You can model in ArchiCAD all houses, full documentation of all houses with all construction. You can draw, design interiors. You can also design even garden, because a few years ago I prepared separate course for garden designers, landscape designers, how to create full project in ArchiCAD, so it's also possible. How to draw some landscape around our house. The first one, we just draw the space. Let's say that my space around the house will be like that, such distance. But if we look in 3D, it's just flat. Not too much interesting. Especially when depends what country you are living. Sometimes you have really very not only such flat space. So how to make it more interesting? We have spline line, and with spline line we draw some lines. And this. When you just watch on the map, you can see something like lines, and every line is separate level. It's the terrain is going up or down. Now we need to connect those lines with our garden. So select the space, then go to the mesh tool, click on the space bar, and click on those lines which we just drew. We see something like that, new mesh points. And okay, and the same with every line. So click on the space bar, you need to click all the time, and then click on the line. And the same with this one. Now we connect those lines with our terrain, but it's still flat, nothing happened here. You can see on the lines here. Now, just click in any point of one wall, on one line. You will see something like small palette, and the second icon, we have icon which allow us elevate this point. There you can see Z on this icon. When you click on this icon, you will see mesh point height. So I can decide that our terrain, the garden here in this space, in this line, let's say, is 1 meter above 0. And don't forget to click apply to all. Okay. And now we're making up and down with our terrain. You need to repeat this with every line which we just draw. Let's say here will be 50 centimeters. I don't know, it will be not too little to show in 3 dimension. And here, let's say, maybe 2 meters. So in 3 dimension, you will see a little bit up and down. Not too much, but still something. You can see more here. Of course, when we made something like that, we can see some mesh garden grass inside our house. We don't want something like that. You can make some hole below our house. So we just select our garden, click somewhere in the corner, cancel this one, but you have, again, if we click in the corner, you can see more options to edit this mesh, this garden. And we are looking for icon where is minus. subtract from polygon. And now I need to just draw, because I will make a hole between all house and terrace as well. And let's say the first geometry method. We can also add some points here. Maybe I will show the two ways. The first, if I will draw the hole, so I need to just draw lines around my house and terrain, like we draw some slab. It's exactly the same way. In ArchiCAD, almost every tool we are using in the same way. The geometry methods are almost the same. In the same way, we are drawing some walls, the slabs, the hole in the garden. So you can see it's nothing below our garden, our slab. So now it looks like that. The problem is when I draw some holes, maybe I will show from here, you can see what's happened. And it looks like that. So we just connect those all points to make it on 0 level, every corner. So again, click on this point. We have Z, and I will just make it in 0. And we should to make it manually with every point. It's one of the way to make it. I will just make in some short distance, because sometimes we have really a lot of points here to just show that it really looks better. Let's say around our terrace. I'm just watching where we are. We just make it flat here, but this, I know. We should have like that. It's just manual work to work like that. The second option which we have in ArchiCAD, especially when we are working with some terrain which is going up and down, if I would like to place something, let's say we have some in the objects which we mention in a second, we have some, for example, tree. And let's say I place something like that. And I will place it here. Tree is quite big. Maybe, let's say, some furniture which will be small. Oh, let's say bed. If I will place some bed here, and let's say here, what's happened that when we are really have terrain which is going very, very up, sometimes those objects are just inside our terrain. And we have some options here in ArchiCAD. Where are here with this? Let's say I'll play something like that to show you what's happened. I'll place one bed here. Our terrain on this level is on something like 2 meters, as I remember. 2 meters. So if I replace some objects in 2 dimension on my plan, my bed is here, just inside my terrain. It's something different when we place some objects in 3 dimension, then ArchiCAD is feeling what kind of the level is in this place. So it's really on 2 meters high. But what to do? Sometimes when we make some plans, it's better for us to work on the plan, not in 3 dimension, because we can really see distance between those objects and it's better working. But to not make such problems, to not have such problems that everything will be inside our terrain, we can, before we place any object, we have something like gravitation. Gravity. And then if there is some icon on the right side of some arrow on the right side of some icon, it means that we have some extra options here. I need to set that I'm placing some objects to the mesh. And now if I replace some bed next to this one, and we go to 3 dimension, you can see that here is the second bed. And the first one is inside this house. So we don't have, sorry, my phone is going. So it's not such problem anymore that everything will be inside our terrain, especially if you would like to make some nice looking gardens or trees placed around your terrace, then it's better to choose. But you need to choose this gravity option between you place an object, because if you place like that and then you would like to select and make it and choose this icon, it's not available. You need to go manually and to set manually that this bed should be on such level. Okay, let's go to some plans, to some elevation, dimensions, etc. When you start to placing everything in ArchiCAD, then it's coming such time when you have everything here. Especially I didn't yet place any objects here, but you can imagine that sometimes you have different kind of the dimension on inventory, dimension to some objects, creature furniture, to some electric point. And you can imagine that when you replace so many elements, it will become such moment where you have too much elements and you will not understand what connect to which elements. That's why in ArchiCAD we are working with layers and combination layers. We have in document layer model views. In ArchiCAD we have full list of layers. You can of course create your own layers, depends on the version of your ArchiCAD. This list can be longer, shorter, it can call different way. I'm actually on ArchiCAD 22. Now is ArchiCAD 24, and so the list with every version is even longer. Layers are connected with every element which we place to ArchiCAD, and ArchiCAD automatically connect layers with elements. So for example, walls, all layers you can find, for example, here. Walls are on the layer which call structural bearing. Columns have different. Why is, for example, stairs, depends of the version of your ArchiCAD, the names can be also different. But this what is important, that on one layer can connect with many elements. So for example, I can create one layer, let's say new layer, and this layer we have name 1, 2, 3. Okay? Okay. For example, my wall should be on the layer 1, 2, 3. And there we draw such one. But on the same layer, I can also place, let's say, so column. Just choose from this list this layer. And let's say the slab. On one layer, we have placed many different elements, but one element can be only on one layer. It's working like that, but we have also combination layer. What's different between layer and combination layer? I think the most easy way to understand the combination layers is to think like what kind of plans we are printing. So if I'm printing, for example, interior plans. So plan where I would like to show how looks like, where is the sofa, where is the kitchen table, the chairs, the lamps, everything. So I will have such combination layer. And what I need to do, I need to select, when I'm on this combination layer, I need to select all layers which elements I would like to show. So for example, if I know that, let's say, I have layer which call walls, I have layer which call furniture, and I have layer which call lamps. So on every such layer, I have separate element. And on this layer, which call interior furniture, so I will have one plan where I will show where the walls are and where are all furniture and lamps. So what I need to do is just go to this combination layer, and I will select that. I would like to show the lamps. You can see the 3 different icons. For us, the most important is now the second one with the eye. The eye should be open. You can see that here we have the close eye. So I will just close all layers, which elements I don't want to show. Let's say, like, oh no, I would like to show furniture. Of course, on this plan, I can see many more objects, many more elements. I just want to show you the idea how it's working. So we just select, close everything, and I have just walls, lamps, and furniture, and update. So how it's working now? I will just draw some wall, which will be on the wall layer. Let's say like that. I will just place some objects, which will be on the layer furniture, and I will choose some lamp, some interior lamp, and this lamp will be on the layer lamps. So I can see everything here where I'm on this combination layer. But let's go. I didn't close up this one. So now I can see only those elements. I can see this terrain, I can see this house, those all elements which I placed before. I can just focus on those elements. And later when we just work, and I can have such combination layers, and to create such combination layers, as many as possible. And the better way is to create manually such combination layers, such list of combination layers and layers, and to have control and to better understand how it's working. You have also a list of combination layers here, and when you just click on those elements, you can see that some layers we have open, here another one. So also it's changing the view. And when you're just working, you can just very quick way, fast change the view. For example, we are on the plan date. I can see the terrain. I didn't delete this terrain. I can just, I can see because I would like to focus on some plants. Here on the bottom, we have list of all those elements, and I can just choose different view of my project. And the better way, as I mentioned, the combination layers think like all those plans which you would like to printing. So the first will be inventory. The second one, if I'm designing interiors, will be something like floor plans, interior, version 1, version 2, and to connect all those layers with all those combination layers. That's the first one. How ArchiCAD really working. Of course, we have even more options here because layers and combination layers are the most, I think, important and the most basic how ArchiCAD is working. If you understand really well how it's working with layers and combination layers, then there is no such problems that something disappear and you don't know why, because history, I can hear that I just draw something and something disappear. Probably just its own layer, which you can see elements from this layer now. We have also some here some model view options, and model view options allow you to decide how separate elements really looks like on your plans. For example, you would like to show all doors and windows with the marker or without, or just hide those doors. For example, when you are creating a terrain plan and you don't want to show exactly details from doors and windows. So you can also create something like your way of view, how doors and elements will looks like, and you can choose them as well. And later when you are working, you are just choosing those options here on the bottom. The first here, combination layers. And the second one here is building plans. And for example, you can choose, you can see that here we have just hall where doors and windows are. On the drafting, we have doors and windows. On the building plans, I changed something on the plans now. In this, that's why you can see some difference on the ceiling plan, on the building plans, and of course you can create your own separate way how this project should looks like. So let's go now to create some dimensions. We have some separate tool. We have on this toolbox, we have a few groups of the tools. The first one called design. So we have all tools which you probably will use the most often to draw some walls, place some windows, to make all this model of your house. Then we have some documentation, document, and here, and those all tools which you choose from design part, you can see in 3D. So when you draw some plans, you can see them here in 3 dimension. When you jump to 3D, you can see them here. Those tools which are here in document are just 2D. So if I replace some dimension here, I can see the dimension and the dimension in 3D. So for example, I said a few times about dimensions, so let's place some dimension now. Let's say that I would like to show how long is this wall and the distance between the beginning of the wall to the window, how big is the window, etc. Like on normal dimension line. We have, of course, a lot different construction method. The first one you're choosing, if you're designing interiors, choose the first one the most often. So it's like typical dimension line. And you are just clicking. You need to click in the first corner. When I'm in the empty place, I can see the pan white. If I'm going to the corner, the pencil, I should say, the pencil is just dark. So I know that I'm exactly in this corner. I'm not somewhere in empty space. I'm in this corner. Just click and click. You need to click in every place where, from what point to what point you would like to show dimension. So let's say between all windows, windows here. You can see some circle with plus inside. If I will place somewhere in the empty space, it will be square with plus. So it means I didn't click right in this corner. To delete such point, just click again inside this point and it will be deleted. Okay, I placed all those points, but it's still not the dimension line, so I need to click twice in empty space. And then I'm just drawing the dimension. I need to decide where I would like to place this dimension, let's say here. And you can see the distance between corner to the window, the other window, between windows. Here we have meters, and let's say I would like to show in centimeters or in meters, millimeters, centimeters. Even if you are in UK or USA, you have even different kind of options. We can change, of course, this dimension. We are going to option, project preferences, and dimension. For example, because in English version you have millimeters. In Poland, or generally in Europe, more often you are using centimeters. I don't know what kind of working units you are choosing, you are working on in your country, but you can choose every time. For example, I started designing everything in millimeters, and now I'm working on some details, and I would like to change to different units because it will be better for me for my working. I can choose now. Option, project preferences, working units, and you can choose here. We have millimeter, centimeters, decimeter, meter, feet, I forgot the name, feet, even a few different kinds of the feet.
Nice.
So let's say I'm mostly working in centimeters, so I will choose centimeters. Of course, you have the same for area, for volume, for angles. It's layer units. It's just dimension of your piece of paper. That's generally it's in millimeters as long as you are not somewhere in where you are using feet. But when I choose the centimeters here, it's just changing the way that, for example, I would like to start to drawing some walls. And now I need to show the layer. And now I'm not placing in millimeters, only I'm placing distance in centimeters. But it's not changing the dimension, the numbers of the dimension line. When we go to options, project preferences, we have the second option is dimension. And here we can choose what kind of dimension we show. And we can choose different dimension, depends of the different kind of the dimension. And let's say now we have the meters. And for example, for me, it's better in centimeters. So I choose centimeters. I can, of course, show extra options. We can even show you can see the sample here, how it looks like. For example, it will be 100 centimeters, 0.12, 0.31. So to really, really very small objects, you can show some dimension that is, everything should be very, very clear. But this one, let me just not use this. Let's say 0, just all centimeters will be there. Okay, 0. Let's click OK. So you can see 85 centimeters, 147. It looks like that now. But we have one more options. We have different kind of dimensions, and those dimensions are also separate tools. So you can choose, for example, on such dimension line will be in centimeters, but for example, if I will place some dimensions in the doors and windows, I would like to show in meters or in feet. So you can choose separate preferences for any kind of dimensions. And this is the first one. Of course, you have some level dimension. So what kind of the level is, so where the slab is. Below, you have also some angle dimension, radial dimension, so you can really separate tools to any kind of dimension. If you would like to calculate how long, before I will say this, let's say that, okay, I can see that I make some mistake, it should be 80 here, and I need to choose move a little bit window or any kind of the object. I will choose this one and we move this window, let's say 5 centimeters here. So I just click in this corner on this window. The last icon on this palette allows us to make this window smaller or longer. Now this window is 147, okay? For sure it should be better if it will be 150. So I will just place on my keyboard 150 and click enter. And dimension changes and our door window also changes because I click it in the corner when I select to which point the dimension I'm placing. ArchiCAD is filling everything, so if I change it something on the window, it's changed it also on dimension. I can also move my window, but I need to select the first one icon. And let's say my window is here, and I would like to move this window 50 centimeters to the left side. So I'm just placing the distance from my keyboard, and the window move it, the dimension move it as well. So everything is connected. If I will change something on the plan, move some elements on the plan, the dimension, we change it. It's not working. I can change the position of this point, but the window will not change. It's not going to the second direction. So, but I think more often you will change something on the plan than on the dimension. If you would like to change, for example, it shouldn't be 123, but I would like to place any kind of text here in this box, just click on this text and you can go here to the option and just place anything here in this text box. And such text you will show here. Sometimes, not often, but sometimes you would like to place some information, not dimension, on the line. We have some dimension. For example, if you are designing houses, not interiors, you can make dimension even quicker way. Just select everything, what you just draw. Let me think a little bit, because in every version we have, okay, document, annotation, automatic dimension, and we have some exterior dimension. Is the 4 lines, like generally on the plans. On the first, you are showing the distance between openings and structures, general geometry, and just general. And this is what we just select is place dimension on 4 sides. Okay. And now I need to draw the line. The line I will draw just as my wall is going. The same direction, not like that, just next to the one of the walls. It can be short or longer, no matter. Then you can see the hammer. The hammer, you are just clicking in the distance between the wall and the first dimension line. Let's say here. And you can see the dimension around all our house. Around. So you don't need to click separate, click around the house and again, just in one way. With one click, you can place all dimensions, 4 lines on 4 sides. Because I'm mostly working with interiors, I will just undo this. And now I will show you something. What time we have? Because I don't even know how long time we have.
We have consumed 1.5 hours.
Okay, because I'm creating trainings, I'm teaching how to use ArchiCAD, so I can talk even all day about ArchiCAD. I'm just trying in this 2 hours to show you, I think, the most important elements here that you can even alone later do something in this ArchiCAD. So the first is dimension. The second one, of course, you are creating some plans and documentation. So you need to have some elevation or interior elevation. Mostly for interiors, you will choose interior elevation. We have separate tool for something like that. And how to make an interior elevation, for example. We have 4 different options. And when you start to compare those options, those geometry method to, for example, to walls. In the wall, we have something like the single wall, the one wall where one finished end of one wall was beginning of another one. We have something like square, and the last option is option which allow you to draw some square, but in the same time to turn around the square. So it looks like that. And we are drawing such kind of the walls. And when you start to compare those geometric methods from the walls to, for example, the interior wall, it's almost the same. It's again one line, many lines where end of the one line will be beginning of the another one, the square, and square which we just turn around. And so the way how you are drawing something in ArchiCAD is almost the same, no matter what kind of the tools you are using. And so it's not something like, okay, another one tool and I need to think how to draw, how to use it, because you are drawing in the same way almost everything. But let's say, okay, maybe before we draw some interiors, let's place something to our interior. We have objects. We can use those objects which are here, but for interior designers, and those objects which are here are not too useful because they are not looks very nice. Most the customers would like to see something different, and you can import to ArchiCAD whatever you wish, whatever kind of objects which you wish. There are many. There's something like special kind of the website beam objects. Which are almost on every country, and you can download from this object from this website and the kind of the objects and import them to ArchiCAD. You can use SketchUp objects as well, 3ds objects, Rhino. So you don't need to think that okay. It's not really nice looking bed for my customers and I can only place something like that. Not really, you can import whatever you would like. So you can create nice looking interiors in ArchiCAD as well. But any object which you just import looks like that. Here we have preview, is how it really looks like on the plans. And we have something like black points, and every those points are one point which you can place these objects. So for example, I know where this corner of my bed will be on the plan. So better for me will be with this corner placing than, for example, this one. Here you have some extra icons where you can see how this object will be looking on the elevation in 3D. And here it's just general preview and never looks like that on rendering because you are changing the surfaces, the options of this object. So your bed will be looks different. Let's place this bed. And depends on the object, you have some extra parameters here. For example, you can change from single to bed to double bed. Everywhere where is some arrow, we have some extra options, and you can really customize this bed, for example. Let's place the bed here. We have a really big bed here. Okay, let's make some single because
That's more than double. That's more than queen size.
Exactly. This plan which I just import is how to is idea to make some house from container. Okay, that's like okay, never mind. It's bad inside. So how to show interiors for okay, no, it looks better, sorry, but how you place something different inside. It's too big to show you in a second some extra option. Okay, I will place some chair here because I would like to show you some extra options here and it will be looks strange with this bed. I place it, some objects. We have some interior elevation and let's say that I would like to show elevation of all walls which I have in this room. So for me, it will be 4 walls. So it will be this icon, because with this icon I can just make a very quick way for interior elevation. And everything what I should do is just click in one corner inside my room and go to this corner. And then when we click on this corner, we are going inside and you can see some walls, some lines here. It's this line is just showing me, okay, so I will standing here and I will show everything what is between this line and my wall on interior elevation. So for example, I would like to show all this chair. So I will place like that. You know, those icons are quite big because we have very small space here. Okay, we have also this car because I'm mostly working on 150. You can very quick way change this car and maybe we make just car bigger and maybe working better. It will be not everything so big. From one corner to another one. No, now it looks better. It was just 100 and everything was absolutely too big. Of course, sometimes we have such interior that from one, I would like to show more elements and maybe another one line can be, I can move every line. So here, it will be fine if I will just show those elements on such distance between my wall and lines. But maybe here, I would like to show more to not make such situation that I will have this line cross some beds. That's why I delete this bed because this bed was too big. The chair, to not cross some chair because I will show on my interior elevation just 2 legs of this chair and it will look strange. So I can move manually every line to look this better. And those all interior elevation are just here. Everything what we just created, some next documentation are here. Interior elevation, and it will be always in some groups. So for me, it will be, of course, in the parameters, we can call them in special way. That, for example, it will be bedroom or kitchen or something like that, that I can find in easy way those all groups here. Let's say I will just click twice on this navigator on some plans, and we can see now this chair is flying. So let's make it on 0. So I can see all chair here, and it's not, if I will just, if this line, for example, would be somewhere there, let's say like that, then I will just see just 2 legs and it will look strange. Because we are making some interior elevation, it's always nice to show some colors here. And we can show we have different kind of options. And those options which I'm telling you now about interior elevation working as well to section and elevation in ArchiCAD. It's almost the same. There are just few extra parameters. Just click. When we click on the tab with right button on our mouse, we have interior elevation settings. And we are going in this way to settings on this interior elevation, which we have open now. And to change the way how it look like is model display. And the most colorful is just here. Uncut elements on surfaces colors shaded. Okay, and it will change the colors. Because I didn't change it any colors here, I can, of course, for example, change the surfaces of this wall, and it will show our changing here. Everything we can make the changes on every plan. For example, I can select go to ground floor and, for example, select the wall here. And to change the surfaces for this wall, let's say, and with every side, it will be, for example, orange. And because I changed something on the plan, if I will go to our interior elevation, it will be orange here as well. And in the same way, if I will change somewhere here, for example, it will be not orange and on this or brick, then it will show here as well. To show, for example, some hashing here, we have extra option. We have some vectorial 3D hatching. And you can see some lines here. We can, of course, also show some very realistic surfaces. We can also create some three-dimensional surfaces. Everything is possible. And interior elevation is some kind of the plan. And so we can choose any tools which we have here, for example, dimension, and I can make some dimensions here as well to show some dimensions between some lines. I can make such dimensions, so level dimension, like on the sections, elevations we are showing. So we can also choose some text and to place some, even draw something manually. And generally in ArchiCAD, everything is connected. As on the dimension, I just moved some wall or moved some window and dimension just moved. The same here. If I change it some, for example, I will delete this chair from here, from elevation. You can see that this dimension also deleted because it was connected. If I will go to some plan, the chair will disappear from here as well. Sometimes we would like to, we are working and we are creating some very special kind of the plan, and we would like to really change something here on this interior elevation, but I don't want to change anything on the plan. Sometimes it's such kind of situation, and we can make, to make something like a separate interior elevation from the plans. So if we go to interior elevation settings and we go to general, we have status. And to change to drawing, and click OK. Now, if I select anything, it will be not wall on the floor file. It will be also just lines. I can delete this. I can delete this. I can draw something here. I can do whatever I want. Go to ground floor, and the chair is still there. The wall is still there. So I can create manually, if I wish, some interior elevation. For example, if I'm working on some details, and really it will be better for me to create manually something. If, for example, okay, I create something manually, some plans, and then no, I want to back to the beginning because I make some mess and I want to start from the beginning again. We don't need to create again separate interior elevation from the beginning. We need to go to the settings, change the status from drawing to auto, click OK, and then it will back. And again, I can start from the beginning. We have one of those lines here, which I just placed. And so every time we can back to the beginning We don't need to start from the beginning to draw all interior elevation again. You can back, refresh, and to start again. So it's about plans, interior elevation. I don't know, somebody had some questions. I think we have a few minutes for some extra questions now.
Any recommended sites, once more, for downloading? I don't know, how do you call it? Assets such as those sofas, other external sites?
I'm just checking. I don't know, you can see my screen still, the browser.
Okay.
It's, I think, one of the best. It's now in the Polish because it changed it manual automatically to my language, but it's in English normally, and it's in really huge base of objects which you can use not only for ArchiCAD but also for different kind of software. So even if you're working in different kind of softwares, you have so many language here. And some Filipinos. I'm
None.
not sure.
English,
It's
definitely.
even more. Sorry, he is Asia, so yeah, you have even 23,000 objects for your country. So
Wow.
so it's really huge. For sure, you can find something, and of course, sorry, yeah, we just closed this one. You have 3D, many kind of softwares. Depends what you are working on. Tekla, Revit. So it's really nice looking. And of course, if you would like to download some students, as I mentioned before, if you would like to download for free, it's myarchicad.com. So then you are a student and you can download ArchiCAD to test for free. You just need to place the name of university or where you are studying. So that's why they allow you to download for free and use all year. And every year is new version. So every year you just upgrade this software for new version for free because you are still studying. So if you are not studying, you can still download something like 30 days trial and you can test it to check is it for you like the software or not, because I'm always recommending to check because everyone feeling different, working different way. So I think it's nice to try. It's not only for interior designers because I'm originally architect. I'm not interior designer. Just last many years I'm focusing on interior design projects, so that's why I'm using mostly for interior projects, but all BIM and all houses construction, of course you can make it because you can export to EFC and to many different thinking.
Will you be so kind to share to us your journey with ArchiCAD? How did you begin learning that? Was that from school?
I started at school. I make my diploma, so the finished project on university in ArchiCAD. So it was ArchiCAD 4. Now we have ArchiCAD 24. So it was a long time ago. Yes, it was for me to choose between AutoCAD and ArchiCAD. I tried on the beginning AutoCAD, but I didn't really like it to draw. The idea to draw with lines, everything, and ArchiCAD from early beginning worked in the way as it's working now. So I'm drawing some plans and I can see everything in 3 dimension automatically. I don't need to create separate 3 dimension plan. As much you focus on the plan to make more clear, to really be careful when you are drawing, to really place the window, the door on 2 meters, no, just like as you wish to some different places. And then 3 dimension is automatically created and it looks nice. And general way of work in ArchiCAD is focus as much as possible on the plan. Then, as you could see, I didn't need to draw interior elevation because ArchiCAD take it everything what is on the plan and show it automatically on the interior elevation. The same with the section. I just decide in what place the section will be, and because as much if I created and placed everything in the right place on the plan, the section will be also automatically. And of course, if you're working longer, then you don't even need to think about preparing project for printing because everything you are just creating once and every project will be created for printing as you wish. But of course, it's a long way to explain everything, for sure not in 2 hours, but I think it's as you can see, even if you import something, you in quick way can draw something in ArchiCAD and to create anything. We just created all houses in 1 hour, to places on windows, doors, and of course objects. Now just section, interior elevation, and we have ground floor made, one section for interior elevation ready to printing. Of course, it's just 1 hour and it's not, it should be many dimensions or information extra. Of course, not such share for interior elevation and some nice looking objects, but it's not really hard to draw in ArchiCAD and it's not really long, heavy work to create every plan manually, like in AutoCAD, and you need to take the line and draw everything. It's history too. I think now it's more popular, depends on the country, Revit or ArchiCAD or Vectorworks. So it's of course also SketchUp, but SketchUp is more for, I think, still for interior designers, and even interior designers mostly using SketchUp for renderings, and for plans they are using AutoCAD. So, so it's like second job. And of course you can create, if you have 3 dimension model in 3D, and then ArchiCAD is working on scene render engine, so the same rendering you are creating in the same way renderings like in Cinema 4D. So it's like software like 3D Max. So you can also create renderings in ArchiCAD here. You don't need to export to some extra.
Beata, please save that file. We'd like to ask for a copy of that file because definitely many people will be watching the replay of this and they would like to tinker on that file as well. So I guess Nelsie will be cooperating with you on how to distribute them to our registrants, including, I guess, the PDF. It's an awesome feature. I saw it. Bringing in the PDF and quickly tracing that out into ArchiCAD. Okay, we have a question from Luis Banyes. Does this support MEPF? MEP?
MEP?
Mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection?
Here in ArchiCAD, it's separated plugin for you can even make everything from the beginning. To be honest, long time I didn't use I didn't import. I mostly have from my work as DWG, something like AutoCAD. Let me check. We need to check it. I don't want to.
Yep, understandable. I think MEPF is not Beata's domain.
It's not my work, so
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
will need to change to check it, but I don't want to say that
Yeah.
yes, of course, or not because I'm not sure.
Yep. So
I'm
once
not
more
sure.
for ducting design, can we use that to place those ductings, those air handling units, the pipes?
Here in new version, it's even you can make it even draw those old pipes in ArchiCAD because we have something like map me
Yeah,
MEP
yeah, yeah.
plugin inside because I'm in older version because it's English. Um, I'm not. Can I show something like quick? No. But if you will test, it will be even download three-dimension models with every those elements, and you can draw it manually in ArchiCAD from the beginning. So it's just software which can use interior designers, architects, construction, even some plumbings and electric as well. So you can do it really everything. I'm not sure with this import. I'm just trying to check it, especially that it's 22, not 24. Maybe something changed between version. You can for sure import, for example, the cloud map. So even if you have something like three-dimension plans, you can also import this and use it as a trace or as a part of your project, for example.
Another question is for those who are using Revit, can they bring in a Revit file into ArchiCAD? How does the
Yes,
conversion works?
yes, you can. There are on the website, not this browser, sorry. On the website, you have something like plugins. You need to install plugins to ArchiCAD, and you can import and export between Revit very easy. You have
Mm.
Graphisoft, and especially new version is even better. But it's possible. I think those two softwares are quite popular for architects for BIM, and they start to in some way cooperate between. Even if you
Yeah.
download some ArchiCAD and you can go to help and you have something like ArchiCAD online trainings, which you can use and something like free videos. You have also some manual. And what I'm looking for is ArchiCAD downloads. When you click on this, you will be redirected to website where you can find some plugins to ArchiCAD and you can download them for free. But of course, you can find even some extra plugins, some small or bigger. So you can.
Yep.
You have some.
In addition, okay. In addition, I noticed you're using Mac. Do you have any comments if we're going to use it in a Windows platform?
It's working the same. It's just shortcut that on the Mac is command, not control, but working the same way. There are no difference between Mac and Windows even sometimes some special kind of the plugins. Now it's fine. For example, we have some plugin where you can create some objects. And on the beginning, it worked on the Windows, no Mac. Now it's working also on the Mac, but even sometimes it's better to use Windows. But generally, there are no difference. You are designing in the same way, using in the same way, the same shortcuts. Just no difference.
Just a personal preference for you.
Yeah.
And I just want to add with regards to MEP from, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but thank you, Martins Valters. He mentioned here from ArchiCAD, the 24 MEP modular plugin is integrated in base edition. So I think this is the answer to Luis about MEP.
If you have older version, you can also download. You can see that to ArchiCAD 23, you need to download Windows or Mac, and in 24 it's already. So you don't need to separate download something like that. But I should go, for example, to older version and download this for, even you have different kind of the language. If you prefer to work, for example, in Greek, you can download it and you have everything in Greek. So yes, it's already. In 24, it's already, so it's special kind of the profile which you can use, and you are download drawing those all plumps. It's not my not my work, so I not really. I know what kind of distance it should be between toilets to something, but the rest, it's not my job. I have people for this.
Any preference for rendering? Do you use a plug-in or?
I mostly renders inside ArchiCAD, and those quite nice looking. If I need to export, for example, to Twinmotion, which works very well with ArchiCAD, and if you are working on Windows, you have also version Lumion software, but you can also export to any kind of file, and you can use SketchUp. I know people who use SketchUp for renders because of V-Ray engine. You have also export to 3D Max. There are some extra plugins for renders inside ArchiCAD, which you can use. There is no V-Ray. And so I know that some people like it because it makes something like nice touch, nice. Those renders looks even better, but the V-Ray is not working with ArchiCAD. Maybe in one day, but still not. But also it depends on you, how much you would like to focus on renderings, what kind of level of renderings you would like to make. From ArchiCAD are quite nice, really looking nice. They're not maybe looks like photography, but looks very nice, not very ugly. And for my customers, it's absolutely fine to have such nice looking renderings, and that's fine. And also, I'm trying to use one software because every export, and you need to learn extra software. Every export, every changes. Sometimes you need to change something in the project and then export, and again doing something in extra software. Twimion works on synchronization, so if you something changing in project in ArchiCAD, then in Twinmotion it will be automatically updated. So it's nice.
Another question, system requirements or minimum specification for those who are...
All depends of the version. For example, I'm now mostly working on 22 because my Mac is quite old and 24 is not working so fast, especially when I'm making some presentation and sharing my screen. But when you go to website, there are you need to click some. You can see you can download for free, but there are some system requirements, so you can check what do you need. For example, to new version, you need something like that. Depends of the kind of the project, of course, you need more.
Yeah. So definitely for those, especially for students who are looking to buy or purchase laptops or desktops, definitely 16 gig RAM or higher. Yeah, I'm seeing i5.
But on the laptop, it's working quite nice. You don't need to have something like big computer. On laptop, it's working. I have many students which are just on the laptop, and I'm also traveling a lot, so I'm mostly working on the laptop, and it's working nice.
Yep. Just want to add, or would you like to say more about your website? I'm flashing it now, Biada. It's readydesign.online.
Yeah. There are two online courses for this moment because it's course for one course which teach ArchiCAD, Photoshop, and Twinmotion. So we are starting from project, learning everything and doing all project in ArchiCAD, then export to Twinmotion for renderings, and of course also Photoshop. Nice touch in Photoshop, but you can also create some renderings manually and colorful plans in Photoshop from the beginning. So you don't need to even create some renderings in ArchiCAD or a different kind of the software because you can make it everything like collage in ArchiCAD and in Photoshop. So
Eh, I guess we'll continue this tomorrow, Nelsie, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Can you share to us what's in store for tomorrow?
In
What are
ArchiCAD,
the What are the topics you are
we
going
more
to
focus
discuss?
on interiors to place. I will show you how to export different not ArchiCAD objects, but also we focus on renderings and surfaces and those elements which allow you to create some nice looking renderings directly in ArchiCAD, how to export to some, for example, beams. So what is a free application, for example, for your phone, which you don't need to take your laptop with yourself. Just on the phone, you can check all documentation of your project and to show some for VA Google on your projects. So how to export this, and we focus mostly about three-dimension surfaces, renderings, and such interactive options here in ArchiCAD.
Okay, so I'm going to add Nelsie once more. So for those who would like to have a copy of the file that Beata shared or shared to us a while ago, Ms. Nelsie will be forwarding those files. Granted that you have registered. Okay, so as mentioned, this is the part two will be tomorrow. So yep, hoping to see you all again for part two. And I think, are we going to require them to have an output or something to at least have a proof that they did something in ArchiCAD?
Sorry, it was a question to me.
Yeah. Are you going to require them to at least submit an output which would at least signify that they learned something?
If I need to make some signature, for sure I would like to see something that somebody
Yeah.
made. So you can make, for example, some simple project model in ArchiCAD from this PDF plan, which I just use it, I think.
Yeah, I think that that would be nice. So because our intent here is for people, of course, it's better. You'll be learning more if you will do the thing than just watching, be watching
Always.
Beata all day. So Yep, our intent here is to be a blessing to everyone, hoping that you learned something. That's why, if okay with you, we prefer everyone, for those who are opting to receive certificates, to have to at least forward their probably a simple work made in ArchiCAD. If okay with Beata.
Yeah, for me, yes. Yes. Everyone who would like some certification, you need to make some simple work. You will just learn in this way, of course.
Okay. Okay, so that's great news. And yeah, I think that's it. Let's give Beata a rest. Thank you so much. Beata, I'm sure 2 hours is not enough, guys, for you to learn and master ArchiCAD. Like Beata, it took how many years for Beata to master this, right? So, but yeah, with that alone, we appreciate Beata so much for doing this. And yeah, see you tomorrow night, same time, right?
Yeah.
And yep, in the future, hoping to visit Poland as well.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any more announcement, Nelsie, before we end this live stream?
Yeah, see you all tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, so I guess that's it. Once more, thank you, everyone. I think registration is still open up to tomorrow. And as mentioned before, again, the topics, we will continue this tomorrow, and probably we will be doing renderings, right? Simple renderings, Beata?
Yes.
Awesome. And yep, so guess once more, good evening, everyone. Hope you enjoyed our first ever ArchiCAD. So I guess I'll be leaving you some few videos about ArchiCAD. So yep, thank you so much, Beata.
Thank you. Have a good night, I think.
Yep, it's already 9:18 in the evening here. So yep, great night, great evening, and great day to you, Beata. Talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
We're still in the backstage if you have a message, but if you're free to leave if you want to. But let me just play this few videos to end this live stream. So once more, thank you, Beata, and see you all tomorrow at 7 p.m.